Night Raw results for August 28th.
Our shit together still. I'm just trying to make sure the audio is okay for everyone that tunes in now or later when they see this video. Cody, did you get a notification that I've gone live?
Yes, you are live.
Okay, can you hear me?
It's waiting for you. It says waiting for WolverSportsCast Gaming.
What the fuck? Hold on. Let me go into my YouTube app because apparently it's not.
Yo, since SmackDown just happened a few hours ago, it's not wanting to give me.
Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Is everything good? You hear rated okay?
Yeah, I hear rated.
Huh?
Are we good?
Yeah, just go. I got this. Don't worry.
No, I'm just making sure the audio is okay.
Something.
Okay, yeah, we're okay. Our volume's all good. I turned down the volume because Jules and some other friends of mine were telling me the volume was too loud. So I think I finally figured out what the problem was. So hello everybody, welcome to the WolverSportsCast. I am joined by Rated R, Jules, myself, and welcome back Cody Bodie from his vacation from Myrtle Beach, eating a shitload of crab. But
I did eat a shitload of crab.
We're gonna get.
Don't worry though, he didn't get crabs.
We're gonna get right into it with. Honestly, NASCAR had an off week, so honestly nothing happened. All the points are the same. If you guys want to know what the points are, go tune in to last week. So I'm not gonna kind of repeat myself and sound like a broken record. We're gonna get into NFL. And there's really not much happening around other than Julian Edelman tore his ACL against the Lions in the preseason game last Friday, I believe. So he tore his ACL. I think Tank, I can't remember what his last name is. He's a linebacker for the Browns. He tore his ACL. Everybody tearing ACL, even WWE superstars, which we'll talk about later in the stream as well. So we're going to get into NFL. I'll talk about preseason here, and honestly, the only stuff I could really find in the NFL is the stuff that's going on. The violence charge he has on him, it's still up in the air. He's still trying to get this punishment either lifted off him or reduced. Everything's still in the court case, so no really any updates about that. His appeal is still going, so it hasn't been declined. So that's what's going on. So with the games that just happened over the weekend, I'm going to go over the scores. We're going to start off with the Carolina Panthers in Week 3. Carolina edges out Jacksonville 24-23, and Cam Newton played, and he said he felt great. He felt like he was rusty. There's some stuff he still needs to take care of. So he played a little bit, but he says he's ready to go when the season starts. Jonathan Stewart played, 5 rushing attempts for 39 yards, no touchdowns, and so did Cameron Artis-Payne. And that was about it for the Panthers stats. Even, what's his name? I can't think. Christian McCaffrey did not play as well, so they're saving him for the preseason or for the regular season. And the Jaguars play Blake Bortles and Chad Henne. And Bortles had a touchdown. Henne did not. And then they got a touchdown from Ivory for rushing. And receiving, they got a touchdown as well. And I think they'll do 1, 2, yep, 3. So that will do it for that game. Miami loses to Philadelphia 38-20 or 31. Detroit loses against a field goal against New England 30-28. Seattle beats Kansas City 26-13. Arizona wins over Atlanta 24-14. Buffalo loses against Baltimore 13-9. The Giants squeeze out with a win 32-31. Indiana wins over Pittsburgh 19-15. Cleveland beats Tampa Bay 13-9. Dallas comes back and beats Oakland 24-20 in the fourth quarter. The Chargers win 21-19 against the Rams. Houston loses with a goose egg 0-13 against New Orleans. Denver beats Green Bay 20-17. Tennessee loses 7-19 against the Bears. Washington wins this week against Cincinnati 23-17. And lastly, Minnesota squeezes out with a win against San Francisco 32-31. And next week's noticeable games are Carolina is at home against the Steelers. That should be a good game. Detroit at Buffalo. The Jets and the Eagles should be an interesting game. the LA Rams versus Green Bay Packers. New England versus the Giants. Dallas and Houston should be a good one. And Cleveland and Chicago go at it as well. Oakland goes at it at home against Seattle. And the only other big game I'm really seeing is Tennessee and Kansas City. That might be an interesting game. And then that's week 4 of the preseason. And then we'll get on to the regular season. So that's really much it. That's about it for NFL. And we're going to move on to open wheel racing. We're going to talk about IndyCar. IndyCar was at Milwaukee this week, the Oval. And Penske once again dominates and gets another win. So I'm assuming Penske might be taking home the championship if this keeps going on. Your race results, I have them right here. I'm going to list off the top 10 drivers who finished. Joseph Newgarden gets another win for Team Penske. Scott Dixon in second. Simon in third. Helio Castroneves in fourth. Connor Daly in fifth. Alexander Rossi in sixth. Charlie Kimball in seventh. James Hinchcliffe in eighth. Carlos Munoz in ninth. And top 10 was Sebastian Bourdais. And Graham Rahal finished 12th. So not the best finish for him. And then the standings-wise, the top 5 in standings is Joseph Newgarden in first with 500. Dixon in second with 516. Helio Castroneves with 505. Simon with 504 in fourth place. And fifth place is Will Power with 464. Graham Rahal is in sixth with 436 points. And that will do it for all the news for Indy. Indy is winding down their schedule. So the schedule for the rest of the 2017 season will be Watkins Glen and Sonoma. Those races will both be on NBC Sports. And those are Watkins Glen is September 3rd, 1:30, and the Sonoma race is 6:30. And that will be the last race for IndyCar. Now we're going to talk to Formula One, and then we're going to get done with the racing. We're going to move on to wrestling news, and we'll go from there. So F1, they were at Spa, the Belgian Grand Prix this past weekend. Hamilton gets the win. Sebastian Vettel in second, and Ricciardo in third. Those are the podium finishes for that race. In the standings, I got the drivers' standings. You got Sebastian Vettel in first. You got Lewis Hamilton in second. So not much has changed in between. So it's going Ferrari, Team Mercedes second and third. And then you got Ricciardo in fourth, being in Red Bull Racing, and then Ferrari in fifth. And then with the driver's standings, the constructor's standings, the team standings, if you will, Mercedes is in first with 392 points. Ferrari has 348. Red Bull is in third with 199. Force Indy is in fourth with 103. And then McLaren and Sauber are in the last two. And Haas is in seventh, so they're all kind of struggling. So that is pretty much it for Formula One. I do not know where they are racing. Next week, I will look that up real quick and see where F1 is at this week. I actually haven't really paid attention much to F1 this year because all the races are like 7 o'clock in the morning. So I have the schedule right here, and they have the this is in April. Hold on, my phone's being dumb. Okay, so They have the Singapore Grand Prix coming up on the September 17th, Italian Grand Prix on September 3rd, so that will be coming up this week. That will be 7:30 a.m. race, so go check that out on NBC Sports. And that will really do it for racing news. I'll have more on NASCAR. They are at Darlington this weekend, so we will cover that as well. And we're going to move it over to NBA. Now, there has been a trade with Kyrie Irving. Cody's got insight on this, that he is possibly still going to Boston, but the trade is not official yet. So, Cody, what do you got for us?
Well, as I'm looking right now, the trade is looking to be postponed due to Isaiah Thomas's health.
With a hip injury.
Well, he just came back from a physical and everything. He's supposed to have it done and everything, but I mean, it says that he said, I am not damaged, and he'll be the same player, and he'll be back. So, then again, the trade's kind of been postponed due to that. But, I mean, it still could happen, but then again, I don't know if Cleveland's still going to be sketchy about it, or they're going to try to keep an eye on it, or look for a better offer.
Well, I saw Kyrie's full health. He's good to go. Isaiah's got a hip injury, but he said he's going to be good to go. But Cleveland, in return, wants another draft pick, which I don't know if that's going to be accepted or not. Because, I mean, Cleveland is not getting... Okay, so they're getting Isaiah Thomas. Boston is not getting anything. Boston is getting rid of Crowder, another guy, I can't remember his name, and a draft pick. Then they're wanting to have another draft pick. So that's like 4 key items right there. And I don't know. It really depends how bad they really want Kyrie. And
yeah, but I still keep an
we'll
eye on it and everything else. But, I mean, yeah, I just happened to read on it today and everything because, I mean, it still could happen. But then again, they might decline it, but it really depends on his health.
It really
sure
does.
He'll be fine, good to go.
Well,
He's
NBA
really
season is right around the corner, too. I think they start in, I want to say mid-September or late September, so they still have plenty of time. But Cleveland is trying to get their team together after picking up Derrick Rose and trying to get as many. They're still shopping for people. So we'll see what Cleveland tries to do that this year and see if they can actually give Golden State a run for their money in the playoffs. Yeah. So that's all the really updates we have on NBA. Not a whole lot has gone on, but we will keep you guys updated as much as we know possible for Kyrie or any other big news. So the last big thing we're going to talk about is, well, since we talked about SummerSlam last week and we all kind of hated talking about that, we're going to talk about what's happened after SummerSlam, after Raw and SmackDown. Now, Big Cass has an ACL injury. I seen that in the match. He tweaked his knee really bad. Don't know how long he's going to be out for, but that's really going to affect his career for now anyways. And then...
Yep.
Wasn't there another superstar that just hurt his ACL? No. Okay.
Not that I know of.
I might be getting that mixed up. But what happened was, I seen the video. He tried going for a big boot against Enzo Amore last week on Raw. He went for it. Enzo pulled down the ropes. He went over the ropes, landed on his knee outside the ring, and tweaked the shit out of his knee. Now, that's... I've had knee problems. No one wants a part of that. So that's going to be bad.
And I want to add this onto that. Enzo made the right call for what he did. And after the whole knee injury he got, Enzo did an even smarter thing. He ran to 205 Live.
Yeah, he did.
Which he actually won his first match wrestling as a cruiserweight.
Oh, really? Okay, so I didn't know he actually went to there. That's a good boost for him.
Mm-hmm. Enzo's actually got his eyes set on that cruiserweight title.
I think he's better there, honestly. He's just not a big fit for the heavyweight division.
Yeah, they did the right thing by bringing the cruiserweight division back. that gives like people who can't hang with like the heavyweights and the super heavyweights and the giants and monsters among men.
Yeah.
Because they get their ass beat.
Absolutely.
They'll get ragdolled.
Right.
It'll be the Big Show versus Rey Mysterio all over again.
Pretty much.
Oh God.
That's been earring around too. Will Mysterio ever step away from the Mexican series wrestling and go back to WWE? They've been pushing for him, but there hasn't really been any news. So see if that. I'd like to see him come back. He was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up as a kid. So yeah, I think that's really all we got for injury news. So I know Raw pretty much just started. Not a whole lot of matches have been fully developed, full picture, if you want to say, to Hell in a Cell for Raw, and then No Mercy coming up for SmackDown at the end of this month, I believe, as well. So who's covering Raw? Rated? Oh,
Jules.
okay. Go ahead, Jules.
Okay, we'll start with the not so important
Yep.
fucking shit that they had on there. So, apparently Elias cut a promo while in the ring, like to the Memphis crowd, because I guess that's where they were Monday.
Okay.
And Jerry the King Lawler, who was covering for Booker T, because he was, he's out there in Houston taking care of his family because of all that bullshit hurricane shit that's going on.
Terrible.
Yeah, dude, fucking
It's
feel
crazy.
bad for the people there. Yeah. Apparently he called him out and introduced a Pelvis Wesley from the Southpaw Regional Wrestling.
Oh,
And yeah, and Elias quickly took him out, and apparently that Wesley, or the Pelvis, English no working today. The Pelvis Wesley guy was just Heath Slater, basically.
Right.
So it was just like, okay, whatever.
He's a one-man man.
God, that guy. Oh, but one thing I do want to cover that I totally forgot about this till now is Asuka injured her collarbone after SummerSlam. She is giving up her title, and she will be moving to SmackDown, I believe. Or is it Raw?
Yeah.
No,
she feels that she will get more of a challenge because it is technically has been put in the book of Asuka, how she puts it, that nobody on NXT was ready for Asuka.
Okay. She hurt her collarbone, so she'll be out. I forget how long she will be out for, but it will impact her. And then there's another injury, right? There's a shoulder injury for Sasha Banks, I believe.
Sasha Banks, yeah, she lost. Sasha Banks was, and took the women's title back, exposing that injury. But one thing about it that gets me about Alexa Bliss is you can't put her in no submissions that involve her arms, because she freaks you out when she dislocates the shit, and then you break the submission.
Yeah. It'd be like, oh, man. What do we have here?
She did that to Becky Lynch one time when I was watching. I said, oh, the disarmor, it's over. And then she dislocated her shoulder. I was like, oh, my God. Whoa. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And then she popped it back in place and won. Like, really?
That's just nasty.
Really disturbing.
You're a double joint cheater. That's what you are.
Well, I don't want to interrupt anyone, but yeah, who I'm really looking forward to?
Who's that?
Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar.
Oh, is that
yeah.
match happening?
Oh, it's happening.
Next pay-per-view.
Okay.
It's official.
Well, let's get back on track, back
see
to Raw, Jules, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. So
Yeah, it's gonna be on here. So
okay.
calm your horses, Cody.
I am sorry.
Okay, so another one that no one really cares about. I guess Emma versus Mickey James. Emma won.
I thought she
Blah,
got
blah.
fired.
I don't know, dude. She's fucking all over the place, if you ask me.
Right.
Emma.
It's that
Yeah.
Australian blonde.
That little
blonde girl.
pale-facedy white girl.
I think so.
Believe
Well,
so, yeah.
They had a brother named Paul
Okay,
Burchill.
so. And then another one
have no
was
idea.
Cesaro defeated Seth Rollins via pinfall, and Dean Ambrose defeated Sheamus via pinfall. So the new champions kind of had a 50-50 fucking week today.
Yeah, I see that.
You know. And then let's see. As a legitimate contender for the Universal title, with the champion eventually grabbing the mic from Heyman, declaring that Strowman needs to get ready for Suplex City, bitch. So apparently, Lesnar is just fucking. Lesnar and Heyman are talking shit to Strowman, just saying, you know, that he's basically not ready. You know, the typical band.
Why is it? Excuse me, guys. This is gonna be a part 2 because of what error connection's been going on with my internet tonight. I've had weather in the detail. I've had weather fucking it up lately, so I'm going to end the stream and start back up because this shit is getting really irritating. I apologize. Let me see if this is still rolling right now. Okay, I'm gonna end this right here and I'll start back up.